Minecraft is great, but it's really lacking the transportation and automation. That's where the Create mod comes in. So we started a brand new world to push this mod to its limits by creating a huge city to automate every block in the game. But before then, every world needs a best start, and I have the perfect plan. Starting by gathering basic resources, securing a food source, and designing a Create-powered starter base. And while I work on building a giant wheat farm for a working combine tractor, Momex is going to be working on probably the most powerful machine in all of Create. I'll tell you more about that later. If we want to build any sort of Create mod machine, we need iron, of course. Sounds easy, right? Our goal for our first episode or so is probably to transform this area here. It's going to stay mostly nature, but we want to put in some farmland. This area will be separate from the large city that we'll eventually build in the huge plains biomes off in the distance. This is the biome with a ton of andesite. I forgot. That's so nice for Create mod. And if you're new to the mod, you might not know that andesite is like pretty much the equivalent of gold in this mod pack. It's how you craft literally everything. I'm trying to get through all the early game stuff pretty quick. The only problem is I can't find any iron, and I think I know why. You see, this mod has a bunch of different ores like zinc and tin, but I'm pretty sure both of those ores just completely replace iron in the world, which means there's very few of it left. Pretty much our only hope right now is finding a massive iron vein, which are in this mod for some reason. Oh, this is a village arrow. So this thing points towards a village. So there's a village 500 blocks that way. This must be a sign. You know what you did to my hardcore world. I'm not letting it slide this time.
Oh, iron vein! I found a mega iron! Yes!
Give me your quartz. I'm gonna help you dig it out. Oh yeah, look at all this iron. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy we found this. This is gonna be so useful for the episode. We can also make our missing tools, which is a sword and a shovel. Don't forget those. And then we'll gather up a few more stacks of iron to hopefully have enough for all the different contraptions we're about to make.
Easy.
You know those tractors with the long things in front of it? And like
Combine?
Combine. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Yes, a combine. We're building a combine, and that's because I feel
That's
like.
really...
Ooh.
You have a bed? Maybe we should start.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. You have live footage of me turning into an ape.
If there's a monkey in the mod pack, every time it makes a noise, I'm gonna cut that out, and just put you over.
Anyways, with all the iron collected, we headed back to spawn. So I want to put the wheat field here. I want it to be pretty large because we're going to build a custom combine that's going to auto farm it. In order to do that, we need a nice big flat area. I hate to terraform such cool terrain. Let me do a basic outline of where the, yeah, I think it'll be on this level probably. So, you know, drag it across here and then place a lot of dirt really fast. We've got this nice open space now where I think we should lay out where the wheat field's gonna go. I want it to be as big as possible, so we're pretty much gonna go right up to the edge of this. And this is just a general outline. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a little bit diagonal. Let's go ahead and take this area and work out the till lines, I guess. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just show you. This crank here is so nice because you literally just have to spin it and it collects the entire tree chopped down for you. We need to craft something called a botanist workbench. So I just need to find some clay and craft it into pots, combine all of our items to make it, just like that. Why do I want this thing? Well, this thing is super powerful. We can take most blocks and place it in like that, and it's instantly customizable into hundreds of different block types, and they all look so cool. But which one looks best like farmland? I kind of like this eroded dirt, or I mean, dirt pillar doesn't seem too bad either. It might seem a little weird, but I'm gonna try to use these. Let's see how it turns out. I was somewhat indecisive, maybe tried 3 or 4 different kinds. I eventually ended up with one that I think looks pretty cool. It took a very long time to grow up all of this wheat. And I'm more excited than ever to set up the combine to harvest all of this. But there's a few steps before that. Like, first of all, we've got to get a much better wall around this thing. I wanted to use a certain dark oak type of fence in this mod pack. The problem is I had no clue how to find a dark oak forest. That wasn't until I remember one of the mods we just added called Nature's Compass. I think we should be able to craft it in here with those items right there. Compass, log, sapling. And whoa, there are a lot of biomes in this mod pack. You can probably see why I don't want to just aimlessly explore for it. So if I select dark forest here and then start search, and the nearest one is 1500 blocks away, that's not so bad, I guess. It's not too bad. This compass better be leading me to the right spot. There it is, dark oak. I'm gonna grab a bunch of this and make sure I get plenty of saplings. After gathering probably way too much dark oak, I decided to begin the long voyage home. Oh, by the way, this is the part of the video where like 40% of people are still watching. And this is also the part where I tell you to subscribe. I don't do that enough. If you like this stupid level of effort I put into this video, you could subscribe for more like this in the future, you know? Okay, back here, let's clear out some of this marker and actually see what this wood looks like placed down. It might be totally ugly. We'll find out here in a sec. Do I like that? I think so. It's pretty basic, but it does the trick. I think in this case, simple is probably better. And that's a tough balance in a modded series like this. These walls really help the field feel more complete. In order to make the path the combine is going to travel, we need to drag it along the back of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create these tire track looking things along the back here and try to make this look halfway decent. I think that should be pretty perfect. For the rest of this dirt, I want to use some other variants. We'll try this one, I think, and then maybe this one. In order to blend these tire marks into the ground, I want to make a sort of gradient of these blocks leading into like this block, I guess. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, let's do that for this whole area. In order to automate this wheat field, we need to build our combine tractor as well as a silo to store it all. I think the best way to go about it is by building the silos first over here, which actually have kind of a difficult contraption involved. Luckily, this thing here, a schematic cannon, will allow us to automate the actual placing down blocks process, which is definitely not something I'll do for every build in this world, but for a complex build like this, I think it's important. So if we put the schematic here in that slot, we can take this clipboard, and if we put this clipboard in here, we should be able to see a full list of every single block we need for the mechanics of this. And some of these are somewhat difficult blocks. And to be honest, Momax designed this, so I'm gonna be learning a lot of how these blocks work along the way. Let's get all these blocks collected in a quick montage. Oh, this is how you make brass. Oh. We gathered all the resources we need, which took a while because there was quite a few pretty complicated items in here. In order to house all the mechanics, it's actually going to go underneath the silo, which means I need to dig a bit of an area. Shouldn't actually take too long. It'll give us a bunch of andesite because there's a lot of andesite in this biome, and some dirt to work with as well. Now that we have this whole dugout, it's time for the most exciting part. This is something I've been super excited for, because all we gotta do is head over to this schematic cannon, which is filled with all of the items we collected, load it with gunpowder, which I already did. We have about 1200 blocks left, and then hit play. And after all my hard work, I can sit back and enjoy the building of our silo system. Hold on, let me fix these illegal blocks real quick. There we go. Now if I place water here, no, right here. There we go. If I place water right there, then everything should work properly. And just like that, all the mechanics are complete. Check it out. The system is fully done and working. It may look like a bunch of random components together, and I mean, that's what it is, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can if I can get out of here. This arm up here is going to suck items up from the combine, and when it does, it takes it into this storage silo, which splits it into 3 different items we collect. The combine's going to collect hay, seeds like normal, but also straw. We separate all 3 of those items atoms and send them down here to this system. Oh, I can't get down. Once the 3 atoms are split, the wheat and the straw both get compacted into hay blocks and straw blocks to make it easier to store. And then the seeds in the middle actually head over to these composters and get turned into bone meal, which is so useful. There's no real reason to have seeds after building a whole wheat farm, but there is so many uses for bone meal, as you know. And it's all powered by this big old water wheel underground. And now that the mechanics are done, let's real quick build some actual good-looking silos around these. Just as the silo finished building, Momax also finished building his giant drill. That could have been useful a little while ago. Oh well. And as soon as it finished building, me and Momax decided to pick it up and take it over to the iron vein we found at the start of the episode. We figured that's probably the best way to get a ton of resources. Here it comes.
I'm hoping to get some diamonds. Where's all this stuff?
Cobblestone.
Oh, here's some.
Cobblestone.
Diamonds?
Oh,
9
diamonds.
diamonds.
Here are the silos completed. They're really basic. I made them purposely very bland and kind of just blend in with the background because they're not the most important part. The most important part is the combine and our starter base. Speaking of, my job for the wheat farm is pretty much done. I'm going to be handing it off to Momax now to actually build the combine because that's pretty complex. Well, I start designing the starter base, something I'm super excited for because I have a great idea. The first block I need for the base is called kaolin, is this desert type block I'm going to try to use. So if we place our minecart down in this general area, so this should be pretty simple. I don't think I'll break this. I just gotta turn this power thing on and it should just start mining like that. Perfect. That's too easy. And as long as we don't run into lava, it won't break at all. I think I'm gonna send it back up. It should come right back up to us so we can see what items we get. I got a bunch of the different colors of it, but the color I need is yellow. So I'm gonna make a chest over here that's filled with yellow. So hopefully it picks a bunch up. Pick this up and move it over a little bit. Let's give it another go over here. Over here in the mesa, we also need to grab terracotta, and Momax needs some red sand for the combine, so I'll grab it while I'm here. All right, so I've cleared out this pretty large area over here where I think I want the starter base to go. I spent a long time collecting a lot of resources I think we're gonna use, so let's start out figuring out some sort of base for it. This is way different than any style I've ever done before, so I'm not quite sure how this is gonna turn out. But let's start by making a base, separating these by 3, and then coming in one with this tough thing. I think it will look good. I want to have a staircase up around this area. This up here is actually going to be like a front porch. I want to continue this design all the way around. We're going to have another entrance on this side. Okay, this side should do pretty well. I like this shape overall. We've just got to throw a floor on it for sure and light up underneath so mobs don't spawn. I want to work on this porch part right now, and I grabbed a bunch of different white colored blocks to try to create a like ornate sort of design. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I think if I place some of these on each of these pillars and then some iron bars across like so, that looks kind of bad. The iron bars are too similar in color to this. There's not really a white trapdoor except for hold on, I think, yeah, these are gonna work. We're gonna put iron trapdoors on either side of these bars like this. Yeah, that really helps make a contrast line between these two spots. Next up, I'm gonna make some pillars connected by more iron trapdoors up here. Then we can get a bit of this like up here, make a little archway. Not really an archway, more of the A-frame. Yeah, there we go. Let's put a roof on this thing. And the roof block I thought would look good with this is this shingles. So we're gonna grab a bunch of this and surround this thing with the stuff. And there we go. That's looking good. Next, we're gonna grab this block here, this kaolin yellow thing that we collected earlier. And it's the primary building block of this whole house. So we're gonna place this down here, saving room for some windows. I think I'm gonna put on either side. And while I'm at it, I also want to put a floor down, and I think the best floor is gonna be this tile looking thingy. This will probably get switched out later, but I don't care. I'm gonna place it down right now. And after the stupid amount of time I spent collecting these blocks, they better look good together. I think they do. We're gonna find out. So I got the walls in. They look pretty good. Unfortunately, all I can see right now when I look at this is one of those like old time Western saloon thingies. And I don't want it to look like that. But I think as soon as we put a roof on, it shouldn't look like that anymore, I hope. Oh yeah, that roof really helped. It's looking a whole lot better now, but it has a long way to go. We need to start adding some finer details. I'm going to start by throwing in a brick chimney right over here. I'm thinking right here will be good. And then we can do some sort of design. Okay, I fell. We can do some sort of design that works its way up here. And then we can add these actual chimney blocks here that look super cool and also emit smoke. It's perfect. I also want to spam just a ton of leaves to look like bushes all around every single side, pretty much just like this, covering everything. I want to make this doorway a little narrower with walls and then place this bluish gray door. I think this color will go good with it overall. Bing, bing, bing. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that color a lot. It looks perfect with the house. Same kind of thingy over here. Do the same thing over here. That makes me realize we have not finished this section. Let me grab some of those white blocks again. I'm going to get back out our white blocks, pillar up like this, and do the same type of ornate design we did on the front. Much better, but let's add some windows. All of our windows are on the side like this, with a shutter on the right and a flower box. Let's just do that for every single window. Windows in. I want to fill the flower boxes with like a purple flower, I think, because I've heard rumors that yellow and purple look decent together. So I'm going to try to find a yellow flower, purple flower somewhere in the wild, and not these. These are pink. Ooh, hold up. This flower is perfect. This is just the color of purple I wanted. Hopefully there's enough of it around here. And the yellow one wouldn't look bad either. I'll also collect this. There's got to be more than 4 in this biome. Oh, here's some. And look, this is where I was drilling earlier. No way. So there's only 6 in this entire biome. Are you kidding me? I searched so long for a flower like this, and there's only 6 of them? Oh, yes, there's so much over there. We're saved. Oh, I'm so happy to see this. I thought we were going to have to stay with 6 flowers. I'm going to grab as many as I possibly can. Oh, yeah, we've hit the jackpot here. I'm super excited to figure out how this interior is going to look. We have a decent amount of space. It's kind of small. We have a decent amount of space to work with. I traveled a couple thousand blocks in order to pick up a bunch of mangrove wood from a mangrove swamp, and we're gonna see what we can do with this. I want to make a ton of trapdoors for the roof. I want to try to use mangrove for the ceiling if I can, and we're gonna use some of these copycat slabs here to place a mangrove block in like this. I think this will look cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Combined with these trapdoors, that should look pretty good. There we go. Simple enough, but I really like that design. I'm gonna use some of these supports and these stairs to make a ladder up, or not a ladder, a staircase. And I think we'll try out a different spruce design up here. I'm not sure how this is gonna look, but let's just try it out. Very interesting. I guess we'll keep it. It's a little weird, but I kind of like it. Maybe it'll help if we trim it out a little bit like this. Yeah, I think that looks not horrible. Maybe it does. I don't know. We'll keep it. And before we do any sort of detailing in here, we need to get all the create systems built in, because I just want to detail around them. And we need a power source for all of them. So I think I'm gonna go under our base, just in the corner here. My plan is to go down here and just dig a room underground. Oh, that's convenient. I accidentally dug under here earlier when I was trying to use the drill, and I messed it up, but I made the perfect size room. I promise I was not trying to do that, but it works out because we can put a line like that running up to the surface. Start with 2 small water wheels, and then give ourselves, hold on, we need a bigger area, 3 of these much larger ones like that. These ones are for speed, and these ones in the back are for power. Let's see if we can get all of these running. So if I put this here, oh yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. Okay.
That's how it works in real life.
Scientifically correct, according to my calculations. But it does work up here, which is nice to have. Now what I want to do is run this signal all the way upstairs like this. We'll put this inside andesite casing. Then I pretty much just want to put this up here and have it run across the roof like this, so we can branch it out into different contraptions. We will do a similar sort of thing right over here. Now that all the wires are hooked up, I'm gonna start working on putting all of our different contraptions into the house. We're gonna have our crusher right there. I guess we'll put our mixer upstairs here and figure out how to link this up. I think it should be pretty easy. I think this will do the trick. Yep, perfect. We'll place that mixer right there, and while we're at it, we'll put the millstone next to it. We also need to put our blaze burner down there. We need to make this easier to access. I have an idea. Using a copycat panel, we can hide it down there like that, but it's still accessible from this stair block for us to heat up whenever we need. Ooh, and downstairs, I can't forget to include our all-important, where do I put this? I'll put it over here. Our deployer, bam. This allows us to craft some more complex items later on.
Also, for the mixer, you should have it go into a hopper or into a
have it go into a hopper into a chest.
Our next system is our fuel source, and it pretty much is a fan blowing lava in front of us, which is incredibly deadly. So let's block this off with this filter here. If we place smeltable items on this, which I maybe have something smeltable in my inventory, if we drop some logs on there in a few seconds, because this thing is really fast, we should get, yep, it drops right into this chest. Perfect. Super simple, easy, super smelter. And don't worry, this will all look better in a second. In the downstairs area, I just want to spam pretty much this entire wall full of chests. Let me spend some time off camera working on detailing all of this. I'll be honest with you, I'm not the best at interiors, to be fair, but I think that what I made in here turned out decent, at least, and it at least has everything we need. We have our chest wall here with all of our storage put into it, and these little cabinets, sort of a kitchen over here with some of our chip tables. Got more in the corner here. I just added a little bit of detail to make this look a little bit more cohesive over here with our crusher and our pointer thing. Threw in some of these custom paintings that are really cool. And up the stairs, not too much going on either. We just have all this stuff you saw earlier. I tried to make the super smelter look a little bit better, and then around this corner I put a little tiny bedroom. Simple enough. But while I was doing that, Momax got the combine all the way fully set up, which means we can take this thing for a test drive. If we press this button, it should start going. It'll dump off all the items up here into these silos, and then as you can see, it just follows along a pre-designed path and harvests all the crops. It's on a timer to go about every 20 minutes unless we manually start it, and because I manually started it, not everything is grown up yet. We still are getting quite a bit of stuff in here. This hay is actually perfect because I desperately need hay for building, because I would like to make some paths out of, where is it? Packed mud. Let's get all of these paths laid out. I look extremely shocked about that for some reason. Those roads really brought the whole place together. I decided to end up using mostly dirt instead of packed mud because I think it looks a little bit better. But now we have this road here, which eventually cars could drive on, and it kind of loops through this forest area where we built these planters. And because this is a farm, I'd like to have all the different crops on hand. I also made this super cool signpost which points onto our city, which will be coming in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe.